Hello, friends. Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today I'm going to be showing you how to plan out your planner or bullet journal setup. I'll walk you through the process as I plan out my 2025 planner while providing you with a series of steps you can take while figuring out your own planner setup. So if you're excited to create a planner but need a little direction, then you've come to the right place. That said, let's jump in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when starting to plan out a planner setup is to evaluate your current planner setup if you have one. And some things to ask yourself are the following. 1, what is working? Just look through your planner, see what you really love about your planner or journal, and write those things down so you make sure that those carry through to your next planner. I'm going through on the side here as we do this process in my own planner, so I'm showing you guys how this method will work in real time. The next question you'd want to ask yourself is, what is not working? This step is super important to figure out where you need to make adjustments, things you might want to tweak or change or maybe even eliminate. So write those things down. Again, go through your current journal. If you don't have something already that you're working out of, think about what needs you need met in your upcoming new planner setup and write those things down that you know will A, be something that you want, and B, maybe something that you don't want in your planner. Step 3 will be to evaluate what you want to eliminate from your planners. This is more for those who already are planning and have a planner to reference. You can kind of see what maybe wasn't serving you and evaluate the items that you want to remove at that point. And of course, the fourth question would be then to ask what you want to add into your planner. So what kind of things do you want to have in your planner to track? What needs need to be met within your planner that maybe your current planner is not doing? So that's the first step. The next step will be to list out all of the individual things that you want to see in your planner or journal. So this is going to be a pretty comprehensive list. You'll need to go through and really figure out what are all of the items that you need to have your planner serve you. I have my setup pretty much dialed in. I usually only need to make a few tweaks here and there each year. So I'm just going to go through and write in all of the things that are serving me well and that I want to see in my planner for the next year. Again, this could be done without having anything to reference if you are just starting out with planning and just want to figure out what you need. Go through your list of items that you want to see in your planner. Do you need it just for scheduling, or maybe you need it for more than that? Maybe you want to use it as a health tool to progress your health and wellness, or maybe you want to use it as a faith tool for Bible journaling or business and work. There's so many major topics that you can kind of delve into and see if you need specific items to be within that planner and write those things down or things that you'd like to see. And then you can also to evaluate if you have a set planner, for example, and it is pre-built with weeklies, dailies, annual pages, and maybe notes pages like a Hobonichi or something like that. You can figure out, okay, how do I want to use the monthly? How do I want to use the weekly pages? What do I need to have on those pages every day so that I can use this planner to its fullest? So like I said, I'm using the current planner that I have now to really map out all of those things that I love having in my planner and definitely want to see again in the new planner setup. And this can be a pretty comprehensive list, or it could be a fairly small list. I have a fairly large planner with multiple planners within it, so my list is huge, but maybe yours would just be, 5 or 6 items, nothing major. The next step will be to define how you want to see each of those items in your planner or journal. Sections, which we can define. Again, this harkens back to what I was saying when you have preset pages and you want to define how you're going to use those pages. I've come up with some simple categories for my own planner. I'm also mapping out the major pages that I usually have in my planner, which include annual, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Since I'm using a planner and not necessarily like a journal or something that isn't time-based, I define a majority of my items by those time segments and just kind of categorize how I want to see the information I'll be tracking in my planner. But again, if you are just trying to set up maybe a journal or something and you don't have a set time frame on the pages that you're going to be creating, you can define those by topics like health, wellness, and group them in a similar way. Okay, now that we have the time or reference defined for each of the items we want to see in our planner, the next step is to gather them into major categories through some kind of outline, defining the order or structure of your planner or journal. So this really helps you figure out like what sections you want to have in your planner. It also helps you group together things and figure out what kind of pages or inserts you may need to meet the needs of the things that you want in your planner. So, for example, if you have a monthly schedule that you like to see and you want to see it on a single page, for example, then you also want a monthly to-do list next to it, then you can kind of figure out, okay, in my monthly section, I want it to have X, Y, Z, and then look for those inserts or a planner that can suit those needs or journal. If you're building your own spreads, like as in a bullet journal, your life's a lot easier, except for you have to figure out how you want it to look. This process is really helpful to help you really nail down what you want in your planner or journal, and then also to define the structure and the order of things in your planner as well. So the process that I am doing right now, I have defined my planner into 5 major categories as far as the schedule sections, and I also have some external sections in my planner which are collection based. So anything with a date I have defined there in the schedules outline, and my planners are a yearly planner or annual planner. Those are where all my annual pages will go. I have a faith planner, a health planner, and agenda, or basically a catch-all kind of schedule planner, and then a budget planner. And I like this order that you see here. Again, I've already kind of set up my planner for many years and found what I really like. So I'm going to keep the structure fairly similar to what I've had in previous years. However, I am going to be making some tweaks and some changes. So again, this process is really helpful for that. And so what I'm doing is I've identified each of the main sections and also the schedules planner category sections by a letter in a circle, and I've put that circle next to each of the items that I want to have in my setup to help me categorize all of the different items into where they need to go. And then I'm taking the time to write in exactly how I want each of those items to be placed in my planner through the outline, specifically in the schedule section, because that is the most beefy section in my planner and has the most intricate detail. I also have a system of top tabs that I use to navigate through my planner. I have a video on it if you kind of want to know more about how I set up my planner and my sections. So We can get more into that. Check the video description down below for more information on that. But each of the top tabs that I have in my Happy Planner Classic only come with 4. So I pretty much keep each of my planners defined into 4 major bookmarked sections that I will be touching every day. And that goes hand in hand with the things that I want in my planner and how I want to see them. Each planner basically has an overview, layout, a monthly layout of sorts, a weekly layout of sorts, and then sometimes an extra item at the back of the planner. So I use that to help me structure out my planner setup, and am writing those items in now, referencing the items that I want in my planner. And this may seem daunting if this is your first time setting something up. I've been doing this for many years and I have really dialed things in. So yours might be a much simpler version where you only have maybe 5 items, 10 items that you need to have in your planner. Maybe you only have one overarching topic for your planner journal, being like as a planner, a basic maybe agenda planner, or it could be, I just want to set up a health planner. Then that could be all that you're really focused in on. You don't need to have all the things in this one planner. But then if you are also building out multiple planners that you're going to use separately, this is also a really good exercise. You can kind of see how I'm breaking it down for a master like frankenplanner system, but you could put all of this into individual journals and have them separate. You could have a faith planner, a health planner, a budget planner, all separate, and or journal for any of these items, and in the same way, organize it in the same way, just with the thought that they will be in their own individual planner setups. I'm trying to identify, as I'm working through this process, some things that I feel like I don't have currently in my planner and marking them as new, or things that need to be adjusted. I'm also trying to make sure I'm covering all 4 tabs in each planner so that each one has something that I will need to touch every day. That's kind of my own little thing, but again, you might have something else that you need to have happen in your planner, well defined. So think about that as you create your outline and structure for your planner setup. Last but not least, now that you've done that full process of kind of going through, figuring out what all you need in your planner and how you want to structure it, you may need to add some items to your planner or journal to make that happen. Whether it's maybe you need to add a whole nother journal if you just can't fit in everything that you want into the one that you have, or maybe it's buying certain accessories to make it manageable for you, or it could be custom spreads you need to have made, or things that you're going to have to hand draw and figure out, or even searching for new inserts or different types of planners that will meet your needs that maybe you hadn't really thought about before. This part is really key too, because then you don't overbuy for your planner setup. We all have done it thinking that, oh, that would be cute, but then you have no use for the items that you bought, or something that you really like the look aesthetically, but just doesn't serve you functionally. This process is really helpful for you to kind of nail down all of the things before you jump in and start making purchases that you don't need. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I've double checked to make sure that all of my questions have been addressed from the front page, as well as all of the items have been included into my planner setup. The last step really is to go forth, get all your planner supplies collected, and build it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye.